Inside Edition.
He is mayor of the world's oldest urban battleground, Jerusalem. For years, he managed to keep an uneasy peace. Now many feel that his dream of a Jerusalem for everyone was shattered. Teddy thinks it was just postponed.
When I thought that in 20, 30 years you could really settle it, I now know that it may take 2 or 3 generations.
I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
all
the duties that are incumbent upon me as Chief of Police for the city of Brockton.
Nobody knew that the chief was also a cocaine addict, and
this is where Brockton's police chief got his cocaine.
Sproles would come here and take drugs from old cases where the drugs had been scheduled for destruction. As those drugs were used up, he started taking drugs from cases that were still pending.
The substance is there. It's readily available. You're doing a search warrant, it's on the table. You can just as easily put it in your pocket as you can as put it in the evidence bag. It becomes part of your life.
Can I ask you about sex?
You want to talk about sex?
Yeah.
On Nationwide TV?
On Nationwide TV, here in the Family Hour. I mean, it's in a lot of your songs. Sock it to me.
Sock it to me. Lay it on me. Give me a high five. You know what I'm saying? What did you think sock it to me meant?
Was that innocent or coincidental?
Now, what did you think it meant,
Well,
Ed?
you come home and give me my properties.
I'm Mike Wallace.
I'm Morley Safer.
I'm Harry Reasoner.
I'm Ed Bradley.
I'm Steve Croft. Those stories and Andy Rooney tonight on 60 Minutes.
The Chrysler New Yorker 5th Avenue is engineered with ABS brakes, so you're safer when you drive. Our hands-free visor phone means you're safer making a call. Our remote entry system means you're safer at night. And our standard driver's airbag means you're even safer in an accident. Chrysler safety, because the most important thing that goes into our cars is you.
Now get cashback savings or low APR financing on new 91 models.
We are entering a whole new era, the decade of positive change. Around the world, organizations have realized that you cannot intimidate human beings into productivity. The key is to let people do what they do best, whatever way works best for them. At the same time, fundamental principles of mass production give ordinary people access to powerful technology. That which was affordable to the few becomes available to the many. Mass production becomes mass productivity. The Industrial Revolution meets the Age of Enlightenment. The walls have come down. Opportunity has gone up. And your only limits will be the size of your ideas and the degree of your dedication. People, this is an exciting time to be alive.
For the 25 years he's been mayor of Jerusalem, Teddy Kollek has devoted himself to keeping his city out of Middle East politics. His most fervent hope was that Jerusalem's 361,000 Jews and its 136,000 Arabs could live, if not as brothers, at least as friendly enemies. He tries to keep them from each other's throats by running the place even-handedly, despite the demonstrations and the almost daily strikes that shut down Arab Jerusalem. But last Monday, the ugly reality that Jews and Arabs are not yet ready to be friendly enemies came crashing down on him when thousands of Palestinian Arabs stoned Jews at prayer. Israeli police countered with gunfire and 21 Arabs lay dead. Shortly before that terrible day, we made the daily rounds with Mayor Kollek as he tried to keep what he calls the peace of Jerusalem. We found him in the Arab quarter of his divided city.
So is Harlem and Manhattan? Or isn't it?
Oh, it is, no question.
So Why does the world opinion all the time stress the division of Jerusalem and not stress the division of Montreal into English and French? It's not a divided city, and Washington is not a divided city. I don't think a mayor, not even a black mayor of Washington, will sit in certain districts in the morning for an hour or two to hear complaints.
Yeah, I think that whatever divisions, though, in an American city you describe...
They're not political.
They're not political.
Pardon?
They're not.
They're not political, I know. We have this several additional handicaps, different languages, different background and upbringing.
And the resentments, however...
And the resentment about Jerusalem now being ruled by the Israelis.
When we last talked, if there wasn't unity, at least there was a certain degree of contentment here, because business was good, tourism was good, the place was bustling, and people were diverted by all those good things. Now, in a few minutes, this place is going to close down. Since the Intifada, Arab shopkeepers, intimidated by the PLO, close down each afternoon.
It's very effective, and it works, you see. They are closing down. They're only allowed to keep open until 12:30 or something of the kind. To see this is a sad business, and we can do very little about it. The majority, of course, don't want it. They are traders. They would like to have business. And in the afternoon, you make business as you do in the morning. But I don't think we can find a solution for this in the city. It's not a revolution against the city. It's the fight between Jews and Arabs.
In East Jerusalem, he is treated generally with respect. In West Jerusalem, Jewish Jerusalem, a little more passion surfaces. Here he is treated with both adulation and contempt. What's his problem, Teddy?
We are too soft on Arabs.
And what should you be doing? What does he say you should do?
If the extreme parties would be elected and would run the city, it would be all right. Nothing, they would all shut up and behave well. We are pampering them. We are too good to them.
Your troops murdered my friend because he was Arab, no other reason.
I don't know. Well,
you don't know, but you're the mayor. You should look into it.
The contempt comes not just from Israelis. Foreigners, too, have their say.
You can't protect your citizens. You're not much of a mayor.
You talk utter nonsense. You don't know much about it. This may be as you say, or it may be a very unfortunate incident. And I know the reality is better than you. And the
reality is he's dead.
Incident, but I speak about Jerusalem. And we just spoke about the Haitian a minute ago. And in Jerusalem, this isn't true.
All right, then let's stick to Jerusalem and talk about racism, beatings, killings. All right, we'll stick to Jerusalem.
Shut up now and leave me alone.
We'll talk about
Shut up and leave me alone.
When you see explosives...
He rules a city that's been divided into communities for hundreds and hundreds of years, each with the same common purpose: get off my turf. Bells and smells and chants, incantations and calls to prayer, bellowing in sacred language the glory of Jerusalem, but in plainer language questioning anyone else's right to it. Such a place would seem to be ungovernable.
We have Jews from 92 different countries. Almost 70% of them came from Islamic countries with no democratic upbringing. Others don't have it. The Arabs don't have it. The Jews who grew up under their rabbis, the Christians under their patriarchs.
Culturally, that may be very interesting, sociologically amusing, but it's hell for a city.
It's tough, yeah. But as I believe that boredom is the most deadly of all sins, this is a sin we don't commit.
He is 79 years old, as indefatigable as ever, unbowed by the responsibility of dealing with a body politic always on the verge of hysteria. Jews, Arabs, and Christians.
Thank you very much.
He is Teddy to everyone, calming, cajoling, sometimes screaming back.
אלישע, זה לא מוסיף מה שאתה עושה עכשיו. אז תעזוב את זה כבר.
He goes into the Arab quarter, into the heart of the Intifada without bodyguards, without question the most recognizable face in all Jerusalem. He once depended on the Arabs to get elected, but since the Intifada, the Arabs, intimidated by the PLO, have boycotted elections. With no Arabs on the city council, it has fallen to Kollek to speak for them.
You know, they call me the sword of Islam, the
Who calls you
shield of Islam.
Who calls you that?
People want to criticize me. And I think it's in our interest, even if it will take a very long time. You want to keep the city together, to give people the confidence that City Hall is theirs as well.
He holds court at a cafe, not unlike an Arab sheikh. Most people here in East Jerusalem shy away from politics. Their complaints deal with practical matters. What's his problem?
He comes with the same complaint that the police and the border guards treat these people very harshly, and the way these people are driven away, sometimes even with tear gas if they don't want to move, makes their shop suffer. And you see, can sit here for every day for 8 or 9 hours, one after the other will come with problems. Some you can solve, some you can't solve.
His main daily aggravation comes from Orthodox Jews who resist every secular move by Kollek that they feel threatens traditional belief. They smashed construction equipment at the new football stadium, which they denounced as sacrilegious. It is 6 years behind schedule. They tried to close down movie theaters. Every pebble here is sacred, every inch of turf. The Mormons came all the way from Utah to put up a building in Jerusalem. They were denounced as